I really think God sent me to a city like Charlotte to calm me, to help me stay reserved, a bit conservative, more relaxed. I really feel as if I live in a city like Atlanta, I do think my dating would be better, but I can't guarantee that I'd be married.
But listen, we have to even get to the foundational because I see where you're coming from. We're going to get there, but we have to start off with saying when we talk about is your city or your location keeping you single, what does that really mean, right? Because we talk about in all our videos, we say yes. There's when I first we first started off, I remember making a video that went kind of viral, at least on TikTok.
That city, yeah, the cities.
Best cities for single Black women in America. And of course, I put 3 out of 5 were in Texas. And the comments from TikTok to YouTube, they're like, no, sis, like you can't be serious. Like, don't list these places, right?
Really?
So I think, yes. So remember someone making a comment on TikTok like nowhere on Texas should be on there, something like that. So the point I'm trying to make is that when people think about, when you just think in your mind about where would be a good location to meet someone, I think that people think of cities, right? You think of stuff where a lot of things are going on. We had this conversation on Live, I believe, when a subscriber had asked about rural towns outside of a city versus living in the city. So to me, when I talk about is your city or location, it's kind of tying in, like is your social life keeping you single low key? Because
Mm.
I think that when we speak
That's
of
the big thing
locations,
that people don't want to focus
when we
on.
speak on locations, the reason why certain places gives off that idea that it would be easier is because people go out more.
Right.
People interact with people more. People bump into people more. People have it's easier for you to just meet people
No, listen,
versus
can I jump in real quick? Because my friend that left Charlotte, he said Charlotte's too small. I should leave Charlotte. That I'm a beautiful tall girl. If I go to any city, I'm gonna get married soon, really quick, right? I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He said the issue with Charlotte. He's like somewhere like Houston. At least there's events. There's things happening. He's like in Charlotte. We went a year. We cannot go to any wedding. We can go a year. We don't go to any big function. It's just go to the club, go to this. He's like, who's meeting someone at the club? He's like, there's no real
possible, but it's not like you're saying. There's not real
standard.
events. So
He
like,
said there's not enough real events. So he said, so that's why he feel like it's not a good city for a girl to be in because it's like it's very easy. I've noticed my life in Charlotte recently. I've become very much a homebody. I know people won't believe me because they feel like, oh, Nana be outside. Yeah, I post on Instagram here and there when I'm doing something here and there, but like I don't do much. Right. So his idea is that like, if you're not doing much, then
what is
how
the likelihood of running into someone based on the life you're living and based on the way you move and based on your social circles? You also mentioned that is also very small, right?
Mhm.
Even if you're going to certain places, you're going to the club, you're going to certain places, you're going to start seeing the same people because it's a small place. So I think that when we say, is your location keeping you single? It's really kind of saying like, are you meeting people where you are? Like, is there enough going on where you are? And like we said, it all has a pros and cons because places where people always outside, like my city, Houston, also comes with its problems. You know, it also comes with people who are always out and always up and down looking for the next person. You know what I mean? So it comes with pros and cons. But I think that that's really what people are saying when they think of, oh, like how could you be in this major city and be struggling? Like there's so much to do, there's so many people, versus you being somewhere where, and like I said, it's not just your location, it's also how you decide to move. But then someone could say where you are could also influence how you decide to move, because
yes,
you can be someone who likes to go out and do a lot of stuff, but where you are, you don't have that many opportunities, you don't have a lot, there's
right,
not a lot for you to do, so you just sit down and chill
right.
because the things aren't there, so you can't really take them apart from each other. So I think it's very important to really give that really preface the conversation by saying that when we refer to like, is your city keeping you single, it's more of saying like, is there enough going on where you're living? Are you integrated in the community where you're living? Are you you know what I mean? Do you cross paths with a lot of people where you're living? Is your day to day isolated? Do you meet people? It's okay. We talk about we're people of color. If you're looking for someone else who is your same ethnicity or race, are those people where you're at? That's another factor we want to talk about. Let's not act like, everyone's not an option for everyone. People have specifics. I have friends that are take it even down to the tribe. You know what I mean? So like if you want to date someone from, I don't know, a certain tribe in South Africa, you're not going to go and move somewhere where there's no South Africans from that tribe. Because it's
Right.
like, what's the likelihood of you're lowering your options of meeting this type of person? It's the truth. You may think it's closed-minded. You may think, oh, you should be open, but let's also not push that on everybody. Everyone's not open. Some people know what they want. Some people want what they know. Some people even taking it down to their village, right? They want their person, So like, I'm not here to tell them that they're wrong, but yeah. So we talk about just city, your location keeping you single. So when we talk about this topic, I think it's interesting because
Funny.
I wonder what we try to have guys call in. I don't think we had a guy. I don't think we've had a guy call in yet
Oh,
on this show. So we're gonna try and have a guy call in today, guys. Where are y'all at? Lure Ernest, I'm about to shout all y'all out. Y'all need to call in this show. I'm gonna give y'all some time to chill while we're doing this introduction. But I wonder how guys would feel about this topic or feel about this because I feel like even when we're designing this show or designing this topic, I think I'm just quick to assume that this is something a woman would experience, or this is something a woman would think like, oh, I need to move somewhere else. Like, do men think that way? Like, oh, I need to move to this place because I'm not having luck where I am, or there's no the women here don't are so and so. I mean, they probably do, right? If they're like,
men complaining about dating, period. I feel like when I hear
that's
about
the shock when you go online, you see so many of them talking about their struggles. You be like, huh? Because maybe that's the thing. They don't talk about it as openly as women do. Or you know what I mean? Or maybe when you say you don't hear men complaining, it's certain types of men who have a lot of options, but they may not represent the average, the average man's dating experience. So Mia, hey y'all, as a woman, yes, certain cities can take a toll on your dating, but sometimes you have to self-reflect. That's a big one, Mia. Do you keep your body in shape, upkeep hair, nail, style, etc.? Yeah, and do you go out? Because you have to, on top of doing all those things, you got to go out so someone can see that body, shape, hair, nail, style. But you're right. Oh, hi, Juke from Houston. I've seen your comment recently. You're gonna join. Okay, great. We're gonna have you join in a few minutes. We're just gonna wait for some more people to join and just finish up. But yeah, we're gonna have you join because I'm really interested to hear a male's perspective. And I think you live in Houston, right? So I'm really interested to hear your perspective.
that name Juke from Houston. But me, I agree with you about the self-reflect. And I feel like I'm going to admit, I think as women, sometimes we forget to do that. I feel as if a lot of the times when a woman is experiencing poor dating experiences, we just blame it all on men. And at the end, I was talking to my friend about this over the weekend, and she made a point. She said she was talking to one of her guy friends, and her guy was like, you know what? I understand y'all women be going through stuff, but think about it. Of all your friends, if your brother wanted to get married, would you introduce any of your friends to your brother?
Mm.
And she was like, wow, like it really had her thinking.
Mm.
Us women, sometimes we think that we're never a part of the problem. But when the guy asked her that question, she had to really think. Like any of my friends that are, their good characters, their bad characters, the way they can act. She's like, would any of my friends, would I introduce them to my brother? She had to really sit down and think about it. So it's like, us women, again, like I'm not trying to be a pick me. I'm not against women, right? I know these men out here, they get on my nerves. I'm not even gonna lie. Y'all know I be talking about Nigerian men sometimes. They be driving me crazy. But at the same time, I think it's very dangerous for us to not take any responsibility when we keep having the repeated outcomes. You get what I'm saying? It's different if it's one-off experiences, fine. It could just be chance. But if you keep, like some people's issue that they're not even meeting people. To me, that's the better issue because then you can self-reflect because you could just say you're not meeting people.
And then your reflection will be like, how do I put myself in a position to meet the people I want to meet?
Thank you. But if you're actually meeting people, like actually dating, actually entering little relationships, or even call situationships, and they keep failing, as a woman, you cannot sit around and say that you have a part in it. You can't. Like, there's things I have to realize about myself. I thought, oh, well, because I don't ask men for money or I don't ask men for this, I'm perfect. That doesn't make
that smile.
like I know I have my issue. One thing last week we're on a call for church and we're about to host. Oh, anyone in Charlotte, we're hosting a group this Thursday. Y'all gonna come out? New kids on the block. But anyway, I'll talk about it later. And she said, "Does anyone have something they want someone to pray about?" I said, "Everyone's going around saying, oh, pray for Bella." I was like, "Can you pray for God to help me with my patience?"
Woo.
I was like, can you pray about that? Because I realized that that's one of my problems. And yeah, I may not be here asking the God to take me to Chris. I don't ask for allowance. I don't ask a man to pay my rent. But that doesn't mean I don't have problems. That doesn't mean that I'm not doing something wrong because I'm not materialistic. That's like the main thing girls focus on. Like, well, I know I'm not asking for this, or I know I'm not asking for, but what are your character flaws? What are some of the traits you're exhibiting that can turn a guy off? What are some of the things you're doing that can make someone that likes you run away? Do you get what I'm saying? So I say this because I think Mia made a great point about self-reflection, and nobody really wants to sit around and think about their bad traits. Nobody wants to do that.
That level of maturity and accountability to be like, I'm suffering in this area. I'm not good at this. It reminds me of a conversation I had. It was late December at some meeting I went to. and this guy was talking. He was like, basically, he was doing too much. Certain topics girls don't really like to hear, right? So the point he was trying to basically make is like, if you were talking to this guy, right, and he starts dating someone else, and he's talking to a few people, and he starts dating someone else, wouldn't you want to know why he chose that girl and not you? And the girls like, we all like, nah, we don't care. That's his business. It's his loss. He's like, I get it. I understand. Like, you could sit here and say you don't care and that, but if that keeps on happening, you keep having an experience. Let's say you talk to 5 guys and all of them are talking to other people and they choose these other people over you consecutively multiple times. The point he was trying to make is that like, it doesn't make you desperate or weird. Like, a smart person will want to know what am I doing wrong? Like, same if you went to a job and you keep getting these reviews or you're not getting, that you're not getting some things. My resume,
these people are not meant for me.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of women say. They feel like low key, they would just take it as this person's not meant for me. Like, that's our argument. It doesn't always have to be that something is wrong or that you're not doing something right. Maybe we're not compatible. That could just be it. Maybe our personalities don't flow. Maybe there's our values, there's something there as we're getting to know each other. Or maybe he also could realize like, I'm not going to tolerate certain things the next girl will. You know what I mean? Like, it could be a whole array of things, but I definitely think reflection can be challenging because there's no point of reflection if you're not also willing to take action and try and make a change. So I think that's why sometimes in life we don't like doing the root cause analysis. We don't like looking at these issues because it's like, if I know I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing, I know I'm not willing to make a change. I know I'm not willing to make a change in behavior. It's almost like, what's the point of me keep reflecting on the things I'm doing wrong? Or like the things that I could change, but I know I'm not going to change. I know I don't want to change. So you don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? So I think it's not necessarily that it's the reflection in itself, is what comes after the reflection to kind of make it useful. Because if you keep reflecting, but you don't change anything, it's like, what's the point?
Right. Don't forget to like the video, y'all. Ron Kyle said, I had to move. Was in Detroit. The quality of women were bad. And there was so few good quality women. Moved to Houston, met a lot of quality women. Houston, it is. ATL will keep everyone single.
Oh, this ATL. When we have these videos and people talking like, ATL.
Yeah, y'all turned me off from ATL. ATL used to be one of my, if I thought of somewhere I would possibly move to, I would put like ATL on the list. But after the lives we've had, y'all just made me really turned off by ATL. Mia said, men are visual creatures and everyone knows that if you go out consistently, it should be pretty easy to meet guys in general. But the issue, Mia, sometimes isn't meeting people. Like, people want more, right? So sometimes meeting people, yeah, that's the first step. But it's like, we're all about quality, not quantity. You can meet a bunch of people that just want to have fun. You don't want to have fun. Right? You can meet a bunch of people who, like, you're meeting people, but you don't like the type of people that you're meeting. You get what I'm saying? So it's not just like meeting people, I guess, is the start. But I feel like there are people who are meeting people, but will still complain because they just don't like the quality of the people they're meeting. If that makes sense. I think so. So we're